Yes, children. It is quad means 4 and lateral means side. So any closed figure which has 4 sides is called quadrilateral. Alright. Now quad is a prefix, children. You know about prefix and suffix? In English you are doing prefix
Yes,
and
ma'am.
suffix. Prefix
Yes,
means
ma'am.
a word attached in front of any other word. Right. So if I say quadrileg, what do you mean by this now? Here quad means
4.
4 legs. Can you name? Do you know animals having 4 legs?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Animals having 4 legs are
Yes,
called
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If I say quadruplets, आपने सुना है twins, है ना? You have heard of triplets? Quadruplets मतलब 4 children born at the same time. So I'm just explaining you the meaning of quad. Quad means 4 and lateral का meaning होता है बेटा side. So a closed figure made up of 4 sides. Can you name some of the quadrilaterals, children?
Parallelogram,
Rhombus.
square, rectangle,
Parallelogram,
trapezium,
Trapezium.
square,
Where is there?
parallelogram,
Parallelogram. Rhombus.
trapezium,
ma'am, trapezium.
Trapezium.
Right. And there could be a general quadrilateral without any special name or special property. Right. But now in this chapter, we are going to deal with each one of them. They have got some specific properties. Now the properties will be related to their sides, their angles, and diagonals. Right? I hope you know that diagonal is a line segment. Diagonal is a line segment that joins opposite vertex. Yes? That join opposite vertex. If I name it beta A, B, C, D, A and C are opposite angle or adjacent angles?
opposite angle,
Opposite angle.
Okay?
opposite angle,
A and B.
Adjacent angle.
adjacent,
Adjacent.
I hope children you know adjacent means साथ वाला. Adjacent means neighboring, and opposite means these are opposite. AC opposite, BD opposite. The line segment joining opposite vertices. Line segment joining opposite vertices is known as diagonal. ठीक है? Yes, beta.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We have the meaning of adjacent and opposite. Now, likewise, we have adjacent sides and opposite sides. If I ask you about AD and AB, these are adjacent or opposite?
Adjacent.
Adjacent,
Adjacent.
Because they have,
Same vertex.
if
They
two
have common
sides have a
angle.
common vertex, any two sides having a common vertex are known as adjacent sides. Okay? So, beta, adjacent and opposite word we shall be using very frequently. You have to keep in mind. Okay? Now let us talk of these the properties of rectangle to start with. As I said, we will be discussing each and every quadrilateral on the basis of these three: sides, angles, and diagonals. Now, if I talk of rectangle, I'll give you in writing later. Let us first understand. If we talk of a rectangle, what is the property of its side?
Opposite sides are
Opposite sides are equal.
Small angles are of 90 degree.
Opposite sides are equal and
Yes, opposites one by one, beta. Opposite sides equal. Each vertex angle is
90 degree. 90 degree.
90 degree. Each vertex, the angle sum of the angle sum property of triangle says that sum of all the angles of triangle is 180. What is the angle sum of property of quadrilateral says? What is the
360
sum of all four
360
angles?
degree.
60 degree.
360 degree.
So we have discussed its sides, opposite sides equal, and each vertex angle is of 90 degree. What
Diagonals
about the
bisect.
diagonals, children?
Diagonals
Diagonals
are
bisect
equal
each
and
other.
bisect each other.
Diagonals are equal.
Wait.
Diagonals.
Diagonals are equal and bisect each other.
So diagonals are equal. AC is equal to BD. They are equal in rectangle, and they also bisect each other. Bisect each other means, what is the meaning of bisect?
Cut into two halves.
Divide
Cut
Divide
into
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 equal
half.
halves.
Cut into two halves.
Two parts.
Two
Equal parts.
equal parts. That is the meaning of bisect. All right. Now coming on next to square. Coming on next to square. In a square, all sides are
Equal.
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 each vertex angle
All
is,
angles are of 90 degree.
90
90
degree.
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 and what about diagonals?
Diagonals are equal and
Diagonals are
bisect.
equal and
equal
Diagonals
and
are
bisect.
equal and bisect each other.
Bisect each other at 90
90
degree.
degree.
90 degree.
Now understand. Now here I will take pause before moving on to the next. You have to relate these two. Beta, you have to relate these two. And how you are going to relate these two? Just see. In rectangle, opposite sides equal. In square, all sides are equal. In rectangle, diagonals are equal. Here also diagonals are equal and bisect. They are equal and they bisect as well. But they bisect at 90 degree.
90.
They bisect at 90 degree. That is the point. बात समझे बेटा? They bisect at 90 degree. Now, just answer me one thing. Is every square a rectangle as well?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. No,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
I will tell you a story. I'll tell you a story. Suppose you want to buy a smartphone. Alright. You have certain features in your mind that in your new smartphone, these features should be there. So when you're going to the shopkeeper to buy this, when you're going to the showroom to buy this mobile, you will be looking out for those. Suppose you want those some particular 10 features. Yes, beta. But if the shopkeeper offers you a mobile that has 12 features, आपके 10 features तो हैं ही, but some extra features are there. Will you reject that phone or will you buy that phone?
Buy them.
Buy that phone.
Buy that.
So if you are given some extra features, you won't mind. आपको बुरा नहीं लगेगा and you will buy. But suppose the shopkeeper shows you a phone with only 7 features. You have 10 features in mind. It is meeting only 7 of those features. Will you buy that phone or will you look for a new one?
Ma'am, look for a new one.
New one.
Yes. So if keep this story in mind, children. Keep this story of smartphone in mind. This will really help you in quadrilateral. So here also the same logic will work. If a quadrilateral satisfies all the properties of the other quadrilateral, true. If it doesn't, false. For example, I am given a square. I want to see if it is a rectangle also. कि क्या ये rectangle है? So I will start looking for the properties of rectangle in this. I know a quadrilateral is a rectangle if its opposite sides are equal. Are the opposite sides equal in square?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. All 4 are equal means opposite are also equal. Got it, beta? ठीक है. तो side satisfied. Each vertex angle 90. Is there each vertex angle 90?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Diagonals are equal.
Yes,
Diagonals
ma'am.
equal.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Bisect each other. Are they bisecting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Now there is an extra feature that they are bisecting at 90 degree. Let it be.
Yes, ma'am.
What I want to say is my original properties of rectangle are being satisfied. Square has got something extra to offer me. Square के पास कुछ extra चीजें हैं मुझे देने के लिए. So it's okay. My conditions are getting fulfilled. Are you getting my point, children?
Yes, ma'am.
So is it,
Yes, ma'am.
so is it so is every square a rectangle?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am. Is every
No,
rectangle?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
First condition is not fulfilled. Sides are not equal. So it's not. So it is no. Clear, beta? Now another thing. In this chapter, we will be asked question like when does a rectangle become square? भाई आपको rectangle दे दिया बोले उसको square बनाओ. ठीक है? Suppose you are in class अभी तो आप you are in 9th class. You want to be somebody wants to become an engineer. So to become an engineer, do you need to have certain qualifications? आपको कुछ
Yes,
qualifications चाहिए? The day you will have those qualifications, you will be called an engineer, right? So likewise, मुझे rectangle उठा के दे दिया, बोला इसको square बनाओ, ठीक है? So to become square, it has to have those properties of square. So there are some features which makes a rectangle square. If we have a rectangle, in which adjacent sides are equal, जिसकी जो पड़ोसी sides हैं, अगर वो equal हो जाएं, तो will all the sides be equal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
This is suppose L, this is L, this is B, this is B. If I show that L and B are actually of the same length, so definitely all four will become what?
Equal.
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 So a rectangle becomes a square. A rectangle becomes a square if its adjacent sides are equal. ठीक है? Yeah. Second thing, देखो difference कहाँ था? Sides में था, angles तो already 90 है, diagonals equal है, bisecting. Or if we have a rectangle in which diagonals are bisecting at 90 degree. अगर मुझे पास एक ऐसा rectangle है बेटा जिसके diagonals 90 degree पे bisect कर रहे हैं, then definitely it will be a square.
Square.
Then definitely it will be a square. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes,
Will
ma'am.
you keep that smartphone property in your mind? Smartphone
Yes.
story in your mind?
Yes, ma'am.
The phone is giving you extra features, okay, go for it. If it is giving you less features, no. All right? Right? Shall we move to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Beta, somebody's brother or sister is having classes at the back and your voice is coming. Please mute yourself. I can hear the other teacher teaching your sibling. All right. Now let us talk of parallelogram. A quadrilateral in which opposite sides are equal as well as parallel. ये इसके parallel है, ये इसके parallel है. That is how we define a parallelogram, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So opposite sides equal. Are vertex angle 90 degree?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So its opposite sides are equal. What is the property of its angle? I said sides. Sides we have discussed. What is the property of its angle?
Opposite angles are
Opposite
equal.
sides. Opposite angles are equal.
Opposite.
And what about adjacent angles? पड़ोसी angles का क्या होता
They are supplementary.
Yes.
है? Yes. Adjacent angles measure 180 degree. जी बेटा? Yes. And what about the diagonals?
Diagonals are equal and bisect each other.
Equal.
And
Do they
it
bisect each
divides parallelogram in to two
Are
equal
they
parts.
equal? Are they equal?
Yes.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
No. Are they equal? Yes or no? Just let me
No,
know.
ma'am.
I don't know. I'm asking you. Are they
No.
equal or are they unequal? That is what you have to tell me.
Unequal.
I'm unequal.
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 Equal.
Unequal.
Ma'am, unequal.
Unequal. Equal.
Think about it. Think about it. Equal or
I'm
unequal?
equal.
They are unequal.
Ma'am,
They are unequal, but yes, they do bisect each other. They do bisect each other. That means, sorry, OA is equal to OC, OD is equal to OB.
Oh.
Bisection means this, but AC is not equal to B. Now, these are the properties of a parallelogram. Now, let us see a rectangle. आपसे मैं क्वेश्चन पूछूंगी, is every rectangle a parallelogram?
no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
No.
ma'am.
Fit that smartphone story before saying yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Very properties देखो. Look at these property. Opposites equal for
Ma'am, your voice is lagging.
Ma'am, it is true.
Ma'am, your voice is not coming.
Ma'am, your voice is not
Voice
coming.
is
equal. In
cracking.
rectangles, each angle obviously
Ma'am, your video is paused.
Ma'am, your voice is not
Ma'am,
coming.
your voice is not coming.
Ma'am, it is paused.
and another rectangle side
Ma'am, your video and audio is not coming.
I am asking you, is every parallelogram a rectangle? Is every
No, ma'am.
parallelogram
No, ma'am.
a rectangle?
No, ma'am.
The angle is not 90. Gone. Is every rectangle a parallelogram?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't say yes or no. Think about it. Use that smartphone story. If
Yes,
this
ma'am.
rectangle satisfies these properties, it is done. Opposite sides equal. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Each angle is 90 degrees. तो क्या 9 opposite angles equal होंगे?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Each angle is 90 degrees. So what will be the sum of adjacent angles? 90 plus
180
90.
degree.
180 degree.
Diagonals not equal but bisect each other. Are diagonals bisecting each other?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Extra feature. Isn't it an extra feature that rectangle is offering you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Or in simple, the definition of parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which opposite sides equal as well as parallel. In rectangle, opposite sides are equal as well as parallel. So every rectangle is a parallelogram, but every parallelogram is not a rectangle. ध्यान दीजिए. Now, when do we say that the parallelogram becomes a rectangle? A parallelogram will become a rectangle. What are the two different things here? क्या चीजें different है?
Ma'am, angles are 90 degree and the diagonals should be equal.
Ma'am, all angles are not equal.
Ma'am,
Yes,
diagonals are not equal.
If I make the diagonals of parallelogram equal, will it become a rectangle?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Or if I show that vertex angle of a parallelogram is 90 degree, will that also become a rectangle?
No, ma'am.
Yes. So children, now you have to contrast the properties. आपको properties को contrast करना है कि what is there and what is not there. If something is not there, then how can we add it? Yes, Ishita, you want to ask something? Your hand is up.
Ma'am,
Yes, beta.
ma'am, to make it a rectangle, we need both the properties, ma'am. So why will we only prove one?
That is what, if you just take cut paste method, and even if you make any one of the properties satisfy, the other will be satisfied definitely. That is what we are going to do in the chapter. We are going to take up question that if one of the properties is satisfied, we will show that other is satisfying as well. That is what the questions we are going to do about. All right, beta?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now let us see about square. अब सोच समझ के स्मार्टफोन स्टोरी फिट करके आंसर देना. Is every square a parallelogram?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Think, pause, think. I'm saying is square a parallelogram? Opposite sides equal.
Yes, ma'am.
True, false.
Yes.
Angles
No, ma'am.
equal.
Yes, ma'am.
क्यों? Angle. Each
Yes,
angle
ma'am.
is 90 equal.
Yes, ma'am.
Each angle of the square is 90 degrees, so definitely opposite angles are equal. Adjacent angles what? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Diagonals bisect.
Yes.
Yes. So diagonals are bisecting each other. So if even if they are unequal, I am offering you equal diagonals, extra property. And basically, first definition of parallel, opposite side equal as well as parallel. In square, opposite sides are equal as well as parallel. जी बेटा. So every rectangle is a parallelogram. Every square is a parallelogram. But every parallelogram is not a rectangle or square. Now to make rectangle a square, we discuss that adjacent sides should be equal. है ना? तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Adjacent पैरेललोग्राम को रेक्टेंगल बनाने के लिए सिर्फ वर्टेक्स एंगल 90 करने थे, लेकिन पैरेललोग्राम को स्क्वायर बनाने के लिए वर्टेक्स एंगल तो 90 करने ही है, साथ में एडजेसेंट साइड्स को भी क्या करना पड़ेगा?
Equal.
Equal.
To make parallelogram a rectangle, diagonals को equal proof करना था, लेकिन पैरेललोग्राम को स्क्वायर बनने के लिए बेटा इट विल हैव टू डू मोर हार्ड वर्क. वो डायगोनल्स इक्वल भी करेगा, बाइसेक्ट तो कर ही रहा है, और बाइसेक्ट किस एंगल पे करने चाहिए?
90 degree.
90 degree.
90 degree.
Clear? Yes. Vinayak, you may please stop. Now rhombus. Children, rhombus के लिए आपको प्रॉपर्टी क्या देखनी है? In rhombus, all sides are equal. चारों sides equal होती है. Diagonals are unequal. Diagonals are not equal, but they bisect at 90 degree. ठीक है? Now square also has all sides equal. Square also has all sides equal. But what is the difference between square and rhombus? In square, diagonals are equal, and in rhombus, diagonals are not equal.
Not
And
equal.
not even 90 degree.
Yes, they are vertex angle also not even 90 degree. So now children, you can know the difference between all the four. Likewise, every rhombus is a parallelogram because opposite sides equal as well as parallel.